And it's time to do business with me, Beverly Broom. Now to our first story. The producer price inflation PPI rate for October 2022 inched up to 65.2%, a 19.3 percentage point increase relative to the rate recorded in September 2022. That's 45.9%. According to the Ghana Statistical Service, the month-on-month change in the PPI between September and October 2022 was 15.4%. In an interview early on the marketplace, senior finance lecturer at the University of Cape Coast, Seiram Kawo, says increased importation of raw materials by manufacturing firms has negatively impacted cost of production, hence the hike in their prices on the market.
We notice that anytime the producer price inflation shoots up, the general price level in the country also goes up, because that is the price at which producers are producing over a period of time. And this will be transferred to the consumer at the end of the day. And the retailers will transfer this to the consumer, and that will make the general price levels in the country also goes up. All these things come at the back of we not having some of the raw materials in our country, and we import these raw materials that is affected by the exchange rate that we are talking about. Most of the companies have to go and borrow, and they produce at very high levels. We have some companies that have bought some machines that they are not using because the people are not consuming the products that they are producing. And some companies are actually closing down over time. And so all these things boils down to the discussion we had earlier on with the exchange rate, the debt levels of the country, and all those things. And it is one man, one person who is in the helm of affairs doing all these things. And so that.
Away from that, more than 1,000 micro and small businesses are going to benefit from another phase of the COVID-19 grant from the Ghana Enterprises Agency and the World Bank. The fund is to support the revival of small and medium sector businesses to overcome the impact of the global pandemic. The chief executive for the Ghana Enterprises Agency, Kosiyanki Aye, has been speaking to Joy Business at a ceremony to sign the agreement for some beneficiaries in Accra.
The expansion of the scheme is part of moves by the Ghana Enterprises Agency to broaden the economic transformation project with support from the World Bank to cover other deserving businesses that couldn't benefit from the previous initiatives. The program is targeting women-led businesses and those run by people with special needs, as well as small-scale enterprises that have the potential to grow. Chief Executive for the Ghana Enterprises Agency, Kosiyanki Aye, told journalists after signing the agreement that this project is part of government's commitment to transform the sector.
It was to try and transform the economy post-COVID, and it seems like COVID never really left anybody in the world. And so to be able to support that, this program was to provide access to funding and technical assistance support. But one main component was the COVID response grant. So under the COVID response grants, we provided support, we provided funding to build the businesses and to stabilize them. And in the first phase, over 370 plus businesses were supported. Then we came to the second phase, which is what it is that we are working on now. In this current second phase of it, we've already done disbursements for the first group. We're currently at the second group phase, which is what you see today. And the idea is to give them access to funding based on the applications they had put together to build and grow their businesses.
Deputy Minister for Trade and Industry, Nana Amadokwa Isiama Ije, said the scheme has come at a critical time for businesses and government is on course to turn things around.
Through this process, we are empowering the ordinary Ghanaian manufacturer to be able to increase their production span and to adapt a lot more of their this technology to make their productions a lot more possible, especially if any other pandemic or any other disruptions hit.
All beneficiary businesses can begin accessing the funds after the signing of the agreement.
Away from that, the Foreign Economic Relations Board of Turkey says it will invest $1 billion to support Ghana's international trade. According to Assistant Coordinator Sally Diek, the Turkish government is willing to support the trade community in Ghana to expand. Speaking to Joy Business at a roundtable discussion with the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, he said they are poised to increase Ghana's export.
The meeting was to promote and protect trade and investment to drive the country's development agenda with an atmosphere of cooperation and partnership. Salih Dek said the two parties will leverage the opportunities that lie in the areas of trade to foster economic growth.
We are looking at $1 billion. According to our president, His Excellency Recep Tayyip Erdogan, Turkey is aiming at reaching $1 billion trade volume in the coming years, bilateral trade volume, for Ghana and as well as Turkey. $1 billion. $1 billion, yeah, for sure. Right now we are at, I guess, $6 million in terms of trade volume, and our aim, our goal is to reach $1 billion as soon as possible. And that's why we came here, and that's why we are investigating new opportunities, and we are introducing our companies to Ghanaian sister companies and Ghanaian brothers and sisters.
On his part, President for the Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, Clement Osei-Amoako, called for value addition and promotion of local production to increase exports within the private sector.
Very important day for Ghana National Chamber of Commerce and our Turkish counterpart, the DICS. Way back when their president came to Ghana with about 140 businessmen. Business between the two countries have flourished. And I think that with time, you need to come back to reassess what we are doing. Areas that we have new potentials to grow. And so we had some series of meetings, and they decided to come down to Ghana. And so today, we are specifically trying to look at new areas that we have to work, and they have also indicated some key areas that they are also interested. As Ghana, I think that we need to increase our exports, looking at where we find ourselves now, to get enough foreign currency to support our imports. And so we have met today to look at them.
Available trade statistics from the International Trade Center show that Ghana's export to Turkey stand at $119 million in 2021, whilst Ghana's imports from Turkey amount to $461 million.
The Ghana Stock Exchange, as part of moves to improve funding for green projects, has unveiled market rules for brokers and dealers to raise bonds on the Bourse. The launch of the Green Bond Rules, which coincides with the 32nd anniversary of the exchange, is aimed at encouraging corporate entities to issue bonds for green and sustainable projects. Speaking at a short ceremony to launch the market rules, outgoing Managing Director for the Ghana Stock Exchange, Eko Afaji, called on more firms to support through raising green bonds on the market.
The global economy is moving towards sustainable initiatives and green projects as part of the United Nations goal to reduce carbon emissions. According to the Ghana Stock Exchange, funding for green projects is very critical to ensure Ghana is not left behind in the sustainable development goals. Outgoing Managing Director Eko Afaji, who spoke at the 32nd anniversary of the Ghana Stock Exchange and launch of the Green Bond Listing Rules, called on firms to take advantage of the green economy.
And get some interest rate on it. It's not everybody who can go into other forms of investment like real estate and maybe setting up a firm yourself and all that. That is why we provide a platform for financial instruments. So the key thing going forward is to keep on diversifying the products on our market. Today you're seeing we launched a green bond market. So we can find issuers who issue bonds to be used for either climate or environment or anything related to green.
Director General of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Reverend Daniel Ogbamitete, assured the market of his outfit's commitment to ensure the sector records the needed growth.
The sharp growth in the global sustainable bonds market to $1 trillion in 2021, representing a 20-fold increase from 2015 levels to account for 10% of the global debt market, points to the sharp increase in investors interested in ESG compliant investments. Congratulations are in order to the Ghana Stock Exchange for the recent launch of the ESG Disclosures Guidance Manual for issuers on the exchange. The Ghanaian capital market should not be left out of this global trend. We must be well positioned to take advantage of the rising tide of green capital by showcasing the green and sustainable investment opportunities available in our market.
Corporate entities can begin raising bonds for their green projects henceforth.
Now, in a bid to grow the life insurance industry in Ghana, Phoenix Life Assurance and the Ghana Union of Alliance have merged to form Impact Life Insurance to create opportunities for business growth and value in the insurance industry. The merger, according to the CEO of Impact Life Insurance, Sharif Abudu, will help boost the insurance penetration in Ghana with a special focus on the retail space. There's more in the following report.
The Ghanaian life insurance sector is an attractive sector for investment. Overall, insurance penetration rates in Ghana are 1.1% of GDP compared to 2.8% in Kenya and 17% in South Africa. As a result of this dynamic, several Ghanaian life insurers are insufficiently capitalized and must raise new capital to meet the 50 million NIC regulatory capitalization requirement. Out of this situation saw the merger of Phoenix Life Assurance and Ghana Union Assurance to form Impact Life Insurance to compete effectively in the industry. Speaking at the merger, CEO of Impact Life Insurance, Sharif Abudu, said their primary focus will be on the retail space to help improve insurance penetration in the sector.
Now, the focus of the company now is to strengthen both corporate and retail and micro insurance, then solidify the retail. The retail in both companies is not too strong. So we want to make it bigger and better. And I'm sure once we get that done, which we are going to do, we should be in the top 5 in the next 6 years maximum. So what we're going to do, one, most guys are using technology already, which is good, brilliant. We are going to also use technology, that's one. We're going to sell our products through the website, that's two. And also do cross-selling. Because we realize that most people in the informal sector are just comfortable with the informal sector operations. But we want to also expand their scope for them to come into the retail space and even try to cover small-scale businesses at the corporate level.
Delivering the keynote address, CEO of the Chartered Institute of Marketing Ghana, Kwabena Ikuamwa Ejekum, called on the new company to pay attention to its new brand and provide tailor-made solutions to the growing demands of clients.
It is also important to know that graphic representations of the brand are transitory. The true representation of your brand will be what the stakeholders feel when they interact with you and your touch points. The images your brand graphics command in the minds of stakeholders and what your product and service propositions do for them. Strong brands are not achieved with just the launch. You would have to work assiduously to achieve the brand personality, positioning, and culture that will drive your strategic objectives.
On his part, partner of Uhuru Investment Partners, Nana Adudankwa, said this measure would have a significant impact on the insurance sector.
So the impact is manifold. We want to have an impact on our customers, making sure that we are responsive to their needs. We pay claims when they are due. We are designing products that are relevant for them. We want to have an impact on our employees to make sure that our workplace is a high-quality work environment where people can progress up the ladder, get training opportunities, and so on and so forth.
This measure is now the second in insurance industry and the first in life insurance.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's go! Impact Life is here!
You're still watching Business on Joy News Prime with me, Beverly Broom. To some other stories, Airtel Tigo Ghana says it will enhance its customer experience through various innovative initiatives and products. According to head of Brands and Communications, Nancy Aso-Esiedu Amrado, the company will continue to champion diversity in its relations with customers and invest more into its corporate social responsibility to support Ghanaians. She spoke to Joy Business at the launch and pre-screening of Airtel Tigo Touching Lives sickle cell awareness event.
The goal of the initiative is to raise public awareness on sickle cell disease, its impact, and empower persons living with the condition. Speaking to Joy Business, Head of Brands and Communication at Airtel Tigo Ghana explained the need for the partnership with the International Sickle Cell Center.
We realize that it's because we've not given it that attention. So if we should give it that attention and educate Ghanaians about the causes of sickle cell and even how to manage it appropriately, then it means that we are going to reduce that mortality rate. So the passion or the essence of coming into contact with the International Sickle Cell Center is to, one, educate Ghanaians about sickle cell and see how best we can prevent the disease. And if you are not able to, if let's say couples are not able to prevent it and we have children being born anyways, then we teach them how to manage it.
Mary Anson, the lead medical expert driving the project, founder of the International Sickle Cell Center, revealed that sickle cell disease is very prevalent in Ghana, with 1 in 3 Ghanaians being carriers of the AS or AC genotype, hence the need for the awareness.
There's so many misconceptions in society about sickle cell, but then importantly, we partnered with Airtel Tigo for this educational initiative because I'll use my uncle as an example. Though he came from a good home that could take care of him, my family wasn't educated on the do's and don'ts on how he could live a full life with sickle cell disease. And this led to an early death at the age of 19 years. But then sickle cell disease is no longer a death sentence, and people think it still is.
A survivor shared her experience with Joy Business.
The experience has been fun, it's been great and educational. Like, I was a timid person. I really did not like talking about sickle cell, that I'm a sickle cell patient or whatsoever. I don't talk about it, but since I joined ISCC, it's been great. Then they collaborated with Airtel Tigo, and it's been a whole lot of a different experience altogether.
The partnership has been designed to bring together medical experts, people living with SCD, relatives, caregivers, policymakers, advocates to tackle SCD and prevent social stigmatization through education.
Here's your money tip on Money Lab.
Hello there and welcome to Money Lab. In our previous episode, we looked at personal budget and the need for you to create a personal budget. Today, we shall look at investment and why it's important for you to develop a healthy investment habit. Investing involves committing money now in order to earn financial return in future. Investing allows you to grow your wealth whilst protecting your money against inflation. Some investment options include equity, mutual funds, bonds, and fixed income. Before investing, it's important to set an investment goal as well as know your investing personality. Thank you for joining us on Money Lab today. See you next time.
And that's how we end the bulletin tonight. For more news, you can log on to myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Beverly Broom and I